Oh my goodness, am I really here with the Dr. Eric Roman? Hi, Eric. How are
Hey,
you?
Victoria, it is so great to be here with you. And my, oh my, we got some exciting stuff to talk about, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Hey, guys, we thought we would take a minute just to bring you behind the scenes. We are vigorously planning for the 20th anniversary productivity workshop in September in Frisco. And Eric is going to take the stage as part of our clinical calibration course for young doctors. Eric, tell us about the course that you're doing here at our program.
Victoria, what we're talking about is how young doctors, and honestly, doctors at any stage of their development, can calibrate their life to their professional career, calibrating your life and your career. Because one of the challenges I've had the joy over my journey. By the way, Victoria, I don't know that a lot of people know, I actually attended the PDA workshop before I started practicing dentistry. Like I was still in residency at the time. And so my entire life has been productive. Right?
I remember you couldn't even grow a beard back then.
Couldn't even grow it. No, I might have had like 2 little blonde facial hairs. How times have changed, right? And so, it had such a massive impact on me throughout my career in PDA. So what a really cool fitting way to hopefully channel some of that incredible career opportunity to the audience and the attendees. One of the things that I found in coaching and hiring well more than triple digits of associates and teaching clinical directors, we've got a really hard space inside of our profession right now with the plight of the employed dentist, the dental associate. And we have extraordinarily high turnover. We have ridiculously poor data. And what that really means is that our young doctors aren't getting what they wanted out of their career. And the second thing that I discovered is that financial success does not translate into people getting what they want out of their lives. And if we can't connect our financial success and our performance in doing good while we're doing good in our practices to getting what we want out of our incredible lives, my Victoria, like, why are we doing this in the first place? So I'm going to give all the attendees some really tactical strategies to be able to take back and put into their lives ASAP so that they're going to get what they want out of their dental career.
Oh man, I love that so much. Well, thank you so much for being a part of it. In September, this whole program, the first of its kind in the nation, because it's coming from PDA and we've never done this before, but it is a program specific to associate doctors. So if you're an owner and you're contemplating hiring an associate, or you've just hired an associate, your associate is stuck in their productivity at 200, 300, 400 an hour, something like 3,000 a day. We can boost that. We can accelerate that and quickly get your associates up to speed where they're producing like an owner. But more importantly, they've got life balance and they're grounded in their happiness in their career. Dr. David Port talks about that a lot, his research study and his doctorate degree, the value creation for doctors. And it really is about values alignment between the work I love and the life I'm building. And so, Eric, there is no one better in our industry, whether you're young or young at heart, that couldn't benefit from your one life system and making sure that your life path is aligned with your career path. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Victoria. I'm excited to see you and the team in September and can't wait to see who else is going to be joining us there. It's going to be an event that you don't want to miss. So here's your chance. Sign your butt up and get out there. We'll see you in Texas.
Doctor, are you living the dream or just dreaming of living? It is my honor to announce the PDA 20th Anniversary Special Conference this September 12th to the 14th in Frisco, Texas, the nation's leading course on dental practice growth. If you feel isolated as a leader who is frustrated that your schedule is unproductive, maybe your team is disjointed, or your systems are inefficient, this is the conference for you. The PDA 20th Anniversary Conference has all new features, including keynote speaker Emmitt Smith, who is a Pro Football Hall of Fame running back and entrepreneur. You can choose your own educational track to customize your learning experience. Go to www.productivedentist.com and click the pop-up, or select Productive Dentist Academy Conference under the Dental CE and Events tab. That's www.productivedentist.com. Seating is limited. Register today, and we look forward to helping you make your dreams become reality.
Recognition is the number one tool in your leadership tool belt to retain top talent.
Welcome to Investment Grade Practices Podcast, where we believe private practice dentists deserve to get the lifestyle today while building an asset for tomorrow. Join your host, Victoria Peterson, to design the practice of your dreams and secure your financial independence. Let's get started.
In this episode, I want to bring together the research that we've been doing at Productive Dentist Academy, along with the plethora of headlines that are hitting your inbox in magazines right now. Employee retention. It is the number one topic on all dental threads across the board, and for good reason. We lost nearly 40% of our employees. Hygienists are now party planners. You know, the pandemic really shook things up. 1 in 2 employees now work virtually. That is an uphill climb for all brick and mortar businesses. Healthcare has the added disadvantage of being a very dangerous place to work. Dentistry ranking number 1 for toxic chemicals and radiation. And so with all of these things against you, how do we help you as an employer retain top talent? Productive Dentist Academy is preparing to roll out an amazing program. We've been on the drawing boards for a year now with something we call Dental TQ. Now, doctor, your IQ is what makes you a great clinician. Your EQ is what makes you a great leader. Your TQ is the process for developing talent within your team. And that's what Dental TQ does. It helps you develop the talent on your team to hire, train, and retain. And through the last year, our research is showing that times have changed. You know, my very first book on team building was written in 1999. Tony Robbins wrote the foreword, and I thought, that's it. I wrote the book on team building. It's the only one we'll ever need. Well, back then, the capital letters were FUN. I always thought as a team member that going to work should be fun. I loved Monday mornings. Thank God for Monday. You know, I could leave the kids at preschool and I could go be with adults. I loved being a hygienist. I loved being an office manager. But today it has fundamentally shifted. And the women, we're still primarily women, and the men who are in dentistry today, the pressures of parenthood, the pressures of aging parents. This is the sandwich generation where millennials and boomers are right in the mix together, and we have to fundamentally shift with it. So in this episode of the podcast, I want to give you some things that we have discovered are working really well for our doctors. They are winning the talent war. They have filled their positions. They have waiting lists of people who want to come and work in their offices. So first of all, let's talk about culture and leadership. And I'm going to start with recognition. And so oftentimes we try to throw money at an employee problem, and that's rarely the answer. Now, I'm not saying that you can get away with underpaying your people. Those days are probably gone too. Minimum wages going up, inflation's going up. Here in Hawaii, a green pepper is $7 each. So I definitely understand the economic needs of your employees, but set that aside for just a moment and let's talk about the structure and the recognition. Most people crave growth. You know, that's human nature. We want to know that we're doing a good job. But what does a good job look like? And that to me is the number one hidden challenge within a dental practice. Doctor, when did you sit down and say, my ideal employee has these key characteristics? In my experience, that conversation never took place. Not in your head, not with a coach, not with anybody else. So think about that for a minute. Think about a time when you had an employee that demonstrated the exact qualities you wish you could replicate. It could be a current employee. It could be a past employee. It could be someone that's in your imagination. But what do they look like, sound like? Do they show up on time? Are they detail-oriented? Are they visionary? Do they have a sweet disposition? Do they smile? Are they empathetic listeners? What is it about that person that makes your work environment work? And then think about that person again. And what did other people always say about them? Oh my goodness, I just love Matt. He's always got a smile on his face, no matter how hard the task is. Get real, take 10 minutes and just think about the team you want to build and how you want them to show up. Outside policy and procedure, but human to human, who do you want to work with? That's the foundation of your culture. Once you know that, let's say your key characteristics are the ability to educate our patients. I want someone like that. I want someone who's empathetic because we work with complex medical issues. And I want someone who is a team player. These are 3 key characteristics. Now, each time you see a team member doing those things, you can say, great job, Sarah. The way you collaborated with Amy was really terrific. In some dental offices, assistants and hygienists don't work so well together. I really appreciate that you're both team players and you collaborate. So you can see, once you know your key characteristics, it automatically points you in the direction of reinforcing what you want. What gets rewarded gets repeated. Recognition is the number one tool in your leadership tool belt to retain top talent. It becomes like family because you have shared core values that are recognized and appreciated. Now back to the financial conversation, because that's the other side of the appreciation coin. If you know anything about PDA, you know we have a robust 4-tier incentive plan, from grab bags that focuses our teams daily on productivity and keeping the schedule full, monthly collections above our profitability incentive points. We have merch. Who doesn't like a great new Coach purse or something that's tangible that we can brag about with our friends? And then annual trips. So many of our teams are going to all kinds of great places, with or without their spouses. That's totally up to your team to create those game plans. So incentive plans are nice because they focus on results or activities. They're a reward for going above and beyond. But now let's take it a step further. Let's think about flexibility as an incentive. What if your team knew that they could, if they got a call from the school, they could leave and go pick up their child? What if they knew that they could request 3 weeks from now, my daughter's ballet is at 3 p.m. and I'd really love to go and see her, or I'd like to coach my son's soccer team. It's an 8-week season. Building flexibility in your schedule, building a team that's willing to pitch in for each other is not a luxury. It is a requirement of today's workforce. Otherwise, they're going to join the 1 out of 2 who are working virtually and party planning. This is where they go. Where do I have flexibility? It's the number one driver in virtual work. So figure out a way with your team that you can create virtual environment in a brick and mortar setting. Number 2 is think creatively about your PTO and about your vacation time. Why not take the first day of school off? Why not shut the office on the first day of school? So everyone who has a child can take them to the school bus with their little lunchbox and be there to pick them up, ensuring that that mom and that child or that dad has a moment to bond and get off on the right foot at the beginning of the semester. They get to meet the teachers, work another day some other time, but get creative. Think about it. This is part of your annual planning. What days are we open? What days are we going to be closed? And then you set your production and collection goals around it. All of this is achievable. All of this is doable. So I wanted to give you a few ideas about recognition, reward, and incentive, maybe in a different context, because this is what is required. This is part of the fundamental shift within our industry to attract, train, and retain top talent in your office.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Investment Grade Practices Podcast. If you find value in this episode, help us spread the word by passing it along to a dental friend, subscribe, and give us a like on iTunes or Spotify. Learn more about building your investment grade practice at productivedentist.com today.